I'm in Ukrainian Village this morning at a very crisp, geometrically organized contemporary home with Kim Kurbis, who's the agent on it. Kim, it's a really interesting place. It's got all these nice apertures I like in unusual places. We'll see inside. The light comes in very unusual ways. How can anybody let go of a house like this?
Well, unfortunately, my sellers have a great opportunity in Denver, so they're moving to Denver, but they designed and built this home for themselves for long term.
And completed it less than a year ago,
Just
right?
they have had one summer in the house, and
Oh, wow.
so there's many beautiful things that they did for the house that they learned on doing some other houses for themselves, and we'll see inside how bright it is based on all those windows that you're talking about. That was one of their visions for the house, was to bring in as much natural light into the house as they could.
Boy, so we came in and we're standing at the center of a very large space. This is a really interesting room because it feels like one room, or it's well subdivided into several different with the partition and the changes of elevation.
I think the house, this is really where you see how all the light comes in, because there's actually four different exposures of light coming in. I love also that their inspiration were very serene colors, and their palette is gray and taupe, basically. Mm-hmm. And you'll see the gray Italian porcelain floors on this level. And then they bring in a beautiful stone wall, which is sort of like a gesture to a hearth. And then there is an Echo Smart fireplace nearby. And the other part of the house that I love is that the kitchen is really the center of the home, which is truly the way in which people live these days.
Let's go check it out. And on the way, we get to use these stairs that I love, these steps, very low, shallow steps that make a subtle distinction from one room to the other. And they're picked up then with these levels on the island. We've got granite and stainless, right? Just like the low steps over there, we have these sort of simple changes of elevation.
Yeah, the stainless steel is reflected, additional light is reflected in the stainless steel. It also acts as a gray palette as well. And then you've got this beautiful white light German cabinetry, which is stunning. And there's a ton of drawers, all of course with the slow close.
Oh yeah.
You've got a double sink, a super large Julian sink, and then an additional sink here. A Wolf induction oven, and then I know you love this cabinetry, Dennis, so.
Yeah. It opens so smoothly, very well organized inside, but the way that it opens and closes is just terrific.
And then that has a slow close as well.
And then let's talk about this little trick. I love this one.
Right. So he loves to cook. This kitchen is all about him, and he specifically chose this setup, and the way in which the fan turns on is just by pulling out this little piece, and then you can control it right here.
Terrific. Now, while we're here in the kitchen, we should look toward the back. One of the interesting things they did, you mentioned the lots over here in this neighborhood are a little shallow. What is it, 96 feet?
Yeah, 96 feet.
As opposed to the usual 125. So the garage is closer to the house, and they actually have an enclosed passageway to the garage, which on a cold day has got to be a good thing.
I love this glass enclosed walkway. They did get a zoning variance from the alderman who allowed them to do this, and you do not have to go outside between your car and your home.
Yeah.
They also did radiant heat on the stairs between the two levels, and it also is an additional way for light to be brought into the home.
On the way into the master, we came past two very organized closets on either side. Mm-hmm. Nice big master bath. There's another bedroom down the hall, right? But we came here because we've been talking about light the whole time, and we have these clear story windows over the bed. But this window, this is terrific. You were telling me a little bit about how this was made.
This was a very expensive component of the house, but again, they wanted to bring as much light into the home as possible. So they opened up the corner and did this, and actually there's low E thermal windows throughout the home.
Yeah, it's perfectly warm to be standing here on a cold day.
Right, and then they still needed to support the house, of course, so you've got that beam there kind of hidden within the mullion.
Right.
And it really opens up the room, it opens up the house. You get beautiful light coming in all day and all afternoon.
Oh yeah.
And again, you get a big sky view as well as a really open corner.
This is a really sharp view, but you told me even better view upstairs, right?
600 square foot deck upstairs.
Let's go take a look.
Okay.
Boy, up here it's really cold and there's snow, but I know that the view is remarkable, mostly sort of down from this end.
The view is phenomenal, and exactly where that table is where they really enjoy the summer view of the city.
And also back this way, we saw to the Ukrainian church.
The Ukrainian church. It's really a beautiful 360-degree view. They've also, I think, incorporated similar materials on the exterior of the house up here, and so that this really becomes a continuation of the house as opposed to just a rooftop deck that you never would access.